Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Vino Volley. I'm your host, Michael Wall, and with me is my downtrodden by society co-host, Ryan Rebecki.
The world's trying to keep me down, Mike.
But they're not gonna get to you, right?
Just gotta keep fighting every day. Every day's a battle. Mike, how are you?
Me?
Yes, you.
I'm super. I mean, all things considered, we've hit a bit of a rut from a Liverpool perspective, so that hasn't been great as kind of the send-off to Jurgen Klopp. But all in all, things have been good. Wheels are in motion, spring, all that. I'm happy to be here. That's what I'm trying to say.
100%.
So, how are you doing?
I've been better.
Yes.
And not to get into how society and the educational rules, system, and regulations have not played into my favor the last couple days, I'm fine. Both our local hockey team and the club that we follow is eating a big bag of dicks right now. And just all in all, if it wasn't for the fact that it's springtime, it's sunny, I can work outside, I would be in a very, very dark place.
You know what? I think the one, not solace, but is, well, obviously there's still two teams right now that are in the hunt for the Premier League title. And I find it amusing that Arsenal fans are just City just has to drop one game or drop just a high game, and then we win out and we win. And it's just we've been there 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Buckle up, man. They're gonna find a way to win every game, and Arsenal are going to lose by 1 point and actually end up with less silverware than Liverpool on the whole. So
they're going to Arsenal it up.
Yeah, exactly. They don't even have to. City are just going to do what they do. They can put it in neutral. They're just going to find a way. They're going to keep winning games, whether it's 1-0, 2-0, 5-0. It doesn't matter. Pep's been in this position before. He knows what to do. So I'm just going to kind of sit back. We've officially qualified for Champions League.
Huzzah!
Woohoo! We've got appointment of, well, not an official appointment, but it's looking pretty close to the appointment of a new head coach. I'm sure we'll dedicate maybe an episode to that coach.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all in all, things are good. I do have a couple things.
Okay.
One of our dedicated listeners was sent in an email for the most punchable face for Man United, but it was obviously too late. Maybe the social media post didn't get to his feed until after we had recorded. So I felt bad. So I felt like before we kind of dive into some other items, I wanted to read it aloud. Let us get back into that visceral hatred of Man United.
Oh, please do.
Okay, great. So this one came from our boy Juan.
Hey, Juan.
And so he said, "How we doing, fellas? Was waiting for this one, I think, if we're talking Man United. Casemiro has to be up there, or how Antony needs to be put in jail for the robbery of 95 million euros with 25 matches played and no goals. But number one is Garnacho. I don't know if it's his goofy haircut or that he glazes Ronaldo. Appreciate you guys. Keep up the awesome work." A lot of solid picks. We didn't really touch on Antony, but Ajax fucking took Man United with their pants down, no lube for 95 mil.
I feel like that was too easy of a layup.
Yeah, no, that was the the low hanging fruit, as it were. But yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Full blown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Casemiro's, whatever.
He's a step. He's like a 1B to Bruno Fernandez's 1A for rat-like players.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
I don't know if it's the frame. I don't know if it's the appearance.
So to that point, it was when the semifinal of the FA Cup, they were winning 2-3-0. Coventry, a League One side, or championship side, brought it back to 3-3, took it to PKs, and then Man United won on PKs, and Antony taunts this team. And I thought it was great that Neil Maupay was just tweeting, it's just dude, even I wouldn't have done that. Class A shithouser. And it was just even that was too far. So that just kind of goes to the piece of shit he is.
Yeah.
So Juan, awesome picks. We appreciate the write-in.
3 good ones.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Keep it up. Hopefully a little bit more on the punctual side, but that's on me. I've been slacking with the social media posts. We'll get back to it. Get you guys plenty of times to get those write-ins because we do love them.
Sure do.
All right. So next up is we're back in the Mike Wall Honesty Hour.
Okay.
And it's a fairly big one.
Doing so well.
So, I will say, I'll start with, I was right with Gillette Stadium did sell out
for
Messi. Filled out the stadium.
They probably should have cleaned it up better.
Yeah.
For Messi. Because it's messy. Go on.
What I was so wrong on so many levels. Again, he does have in his contract that he will not play on turf. They did not put a sod field down, and he played on turf.
No shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I made that whole thing up.
Got that. That's a real thing. I've heard it.
Well,
so it has to be real.
Yeah. Somewhere out there, someone has done it.
Yeah.
I thought because I was like, oh, well, they had Monster Jam, so they put the dirt, you just put the sod over the dirt and, Bob's your uncle. But that did not happen. He played on turf, so that is on me. The sod field was not used, but they did sell out the stadium. Again, kind of talking to the Messi Ronaldo thing. So,
to speak on that,
yes,
I had a few folks in my soccer circle. A couple of parents took some of the players on my team. They went, and my assistant coach was like, "It's crazy. One, how many people were there to see him, and just how he plays." He was like, he looked like he was completely disinterested. Mm-hmm. He's offsides, and he wanders onsides, and he walks around. He's like, and then all of a sudden,
it doesn't take much.
He just turns it on, and it's like, whoa, there it is.
Skill.
Yeah.
Hard work, right? Yeah. He has this just natural ability. He doesn't need to run for 90 because, he just, his vision, his football brain, he just sees those moments, and he knows, all right, this is my opportunity. This is when I can, he's amazing. So, so, I mean, relatively harmless. We haven't offended the English. The cultural hour hasn't been brought. Pat did give you a shout out. We'll get to that when we get later to the emails. We're good there.
But good on you for coming clean on that one. I would have let that one slide.
No, I mean that's what the honesty hour is there for, man.
Right.
We got to do it. So now that we wrap that up, to all our Vino Volleyers out there, it is time to pop those corks, indulge in a healthy pour, and dive stud showing into today's episode. So, Rye Guy, before we get into the topic, would you like to tell the folks the wine we will be drinking today?
Sure would. Why is my phone making sounds? That was my phone.
Yeah, I know.
Why?
I don't. Do you have noise on? Would be my first guess.
Oh, what's this? Oh, no, it's wine.com with
Did you just... Are you on chat roulette?
Am I winning?
Are you on meat spin?
Why is this...
How many spins?
Oh, my God. No, it was the wine chat. It's need any help? Did you find something you like?
Well, Ryan struggles with that. As always, VinoVolley85gmail.com is the email address to get your most punchable faces in. VinoVolley85 is the Instagram account, and I'm going to go for it. VinoVolley85 at wixsite.com. I think
it's not .gov.
It's not .gov. It's not .edu. It's not .net. But if that's wrong, just go to the Vino Volley Instagram account. The link is there.
It's the best way.
All right, hit us, Rye.
All right. Today we are going to be enjoying, consuming, taking part in the Alexander Valley Vineyards Zinfandel from 2019. Hopefully, this wine is as provocative as
we thought it was provocative. It's just a man in a big diaper.
Yeah, well, hoping, you drink enough of the sin Zin, you get yourself in the sin bin later. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about a gash.
Oh, what a terrible term. I don't think
it is a highly rated wine, both by James Suckling and wine enthusiast. Oh man, that's gonna stick with you for so long.
All I can think of now is Letterkenny with the hashtag / the gash. Slit slam.
Yeah, the old meat mitt. Anyway, this vintage shows great color, enticing aromas, and big flavors. In the glass, there are loads of spicy fruit aromas, of dark fruits, blackberry, strawberry, plum, and black pepper, and a hint of vanilla. This is one of the most versatile food wines we produce. Fuck yeah, glad they mentioned that. Try it with antipasto platters, hard cheeses, pizza, grilled meats, roasted poultry, or Italian cuisine. Hell yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
What's the do you have the alcohol content?
14.1. A modest 14.1.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's dive in, take our first sip, and then we'll kind of talk about... Well, actually, before we do that, to kind of tie it all together, so the area in which this wine is made, as Ryan said, is Sonoma County. And the reason that we chose this is because Sonoma County was the closest I could get to Silicon Valley. And the reason I kind of tie everything together is because today's topic, we're going to talk about VAR. And obviously, technology, so Silicon Valley. Now, I thought about how we were going to approach this. I thought about throwing statistics about like the percentage they get right is the percentage they get wrong. But I felt like, you know what, everybody's seen it. Anybody who's a fan of the podcast is probably a fan of the sport and has been impacted positively or negatively by
emotionally, physically.
So I don't think I needed to rehash stats. I think the way we're going to kind of tackle this is we're just going to talk about it openly as far as our own thoughts, whether we think it's good or bad for the game, whether we think there should be improvements or changes to it, if we think that it should be commonplace. So that's the area we're going to go in. Before we do that, let's get that cheers in.
Yeah. Let's unwrap this wine like the loincloth of the character on the front of the bottle. I like that. It's good acoustics. Ooh, that is a sultry red color. It's a color that speaks to me. Similar to the wine we had last time, where it's like a very seductive red.
Yeah, it's a dark. I mean, if you kind of just hold it out, it is a dark red. But then you kind of hold it up to the light, and you get that like deep. I'm actually holding it to the light, and I'm getting like a Terminator like red eye through it.
Okay, yeah, never seen it.
There's like 14 sconces. Like, just pick one and put the glass.
No, I've never seen Terminator.
Oh, for fuck's sake, dude!
Or the second one.
Well, I would hope so.
To quote ZZ Top, she got legs. Look at that, yeah.
She does have legs.
This thing's running a mile right now.
She's thick.
Please don't you just saw me sniff my microphone again?
Yes.
It's like the third time I've done it. Holding the wine, looking at it, sniffing my microphone like a fucking mush.
Ooh. That's different.
Huh. Both Mike and I... Is it on New Meaning? Both Mike and I are looking at each other with a perplexed look on our face. I don't
I got nothing, dude. I don't think we've had
vinegar yet. I don't think. Huh. I'm confused. Spicy, fruity aromas, dark fruits, blackberry, strawberry, plum, black pepper, hint of vanilla. Maybe vanilla at the end, but like it starts off kind of sweet, and you're like, okay,
sweet and sour,
and then it's like it's like a friggin' Sour Patch Kid.
Yeah,
not like the taste, but like the.
Starts
off sweet, then sour.
I'm not going to write it off yet, but this is by far the weakest wine that we've had to date.
It's almost jarring.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah. We want it to be better. So we're either unsure of ourselves or...
I mean, it's got a good smell. It's got good legs. It's very like... It's tart. Very tart.
Yeah.
And I've had some full-bodied Zinfandels before. Like, one of my favorites is Saldo. And that thing is just like... It's really good. This is interesting. So...
I want it to be like it starts.
Yeah. But I get... It's like... You know what I'm tasting is like... Blueberries when they're like on the cusp. Like you've had them a little too long in the fridge and you're just like, I gotta eat these things.
It's like going from biting into a sweet blueberry that's like fucking
and then
prime.
finding just like a really just like, oh yeah. I'm not getting much of the vanilla, but just like tart, very tart blueberry. And it for 14.1, like it feels like boozy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
We're not going to...
We'll circle back. We're going to come back to it.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just fucking waffle. Let it open up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, so VAR.
Yep.
I think to start things off, why don't we discuss whether we think it's good or bad for the game? Would you like... Oh, boy. I feel like I know where Ryan's going, so I'll let you go first, bud. Do you think VAR is good or bad for the game?
Mike, it's been well established. I have my issues with refereeing.
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure that's well
but
done.
Don't you think in the scenario that in the climate we're talking about, VAR would have helped you, especially in the where the kid went to ground where he shouldn't? VAR would have been like, well, the rule states. So anyway, just go. But I'm just going to kind of throw that out there.
Call me old-fashioned.
Okay.
Don't call me late for dinner. Sometimes it's easier to cope with a mistake of the human element, because they can be like, fuck that guy, right? Versus like having too many cooks in the kitchen and the computer and the video monitor, and it takes a little bit, by a little bit I mean actually a fair amount, of the game's purity away, because you can't celebrate a goal anymore. Very rarely are you celebrating a goal like full-blown, fully torqued, like jumping into the stands like we did it moments, because it's like, oh, hold on, we gotta, is it not? And then like the luster has gone from one of the most exciting moments in all of sports. So I lie honestly a little bit more towards being anti-VAR, even though I myself want everything to be 110% correct. Like, get it right. But I think it does take away an essence and a purity and a flow to the game that I don't care for. Mike.
I'm for it. But I'm not naive, to think it doesn't have its flaws. So one of my biggest gripes, and I'll tell you the reason I'm for it is because I think it stings more to potentially, definitely eat a goal, which would potentially cost you 1 point, 3 points because a player was clearly offside, than have a goal pulled back because VAR said you were offside. I get it. Like, from a flow of the game, 100%, it does stop it. But I'm for it. And the reason I'm for it is because, again, that I think, like, if you were offside, even if it was like, until they change the rule, if you're offside by the, like a sea hair.
Yeah, you're
offside.
It's like circumcising the mosquito.
They've done so much to handicap defenders anyway. Like, the physicality, the way you can go into crunching tackles, it's not there anymore. So, like, you got to give something. So if your back four holds a strong line, Liverpool is known for their high line and these offside traps, then, like, you should be rewarded for it. You shouldn't. I can't remember last year. Obviously we've had struggles this year, but last year, the high line, other teams bagged, I don't know how many goals. It had to be like 13 goals, I think, was like the number that were called back because VAR was like, nope, this guy was offside.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I like that. Yes, I do find myself because I think I was watching, my cousin and I were watching the Newcastle-Liverpool game this season where they were down to 10 men and Darwin came on, scored 2 goals, and they scored, and each time Jess looked at me and she's like, why aren't you celebrating? I was like, I have to wait. Like, I'll wait until the official, but then, like, then it's in there. So I'm actually okay with celebrating twice. Like, when I was at Anfield, like, you celebrate and then they're like, wait, they're doing a VAR check? Oh, they are? Okay, it's good.
Yeah.
And then you like celebrate again. So I think it's fine in that regards. So that's me. I'm definitely for it, but there needs to be changes. One of which is coming.
Go on.
So one of my biggest concerns with it is it's not as automated as it can be. The technology is there to make the decisions faster, make them with a higher degree of accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
They showed it in the World Cup, and then the Premier League was just like, nah, we want this fucking Goomba, a couple towns away, trying to draw lines basically across the field line. It goes this way, so his foot goes this way, and
Yeah.
So it's like, that is maddening to me, because there have been close instances where you're just like, okay, well, he said he was onside because of the guy's wrist. Well, you can't defend with your wrist, so that should be offside.
Right.
So that bullshit. But the Premier League has said next season they're going. It's a computer process that basically to the millimeter.
Okay.
If you're offside, the system can do it, and it's going to be like the goal line technology.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to the watch, onside, offside.
Yep.
So that should expedite the process there.
I would like that.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Because then, and I think that's where also I like VAR, but I also think it needs to have boundaries.
Okay.
So very
computer
much
uprising is what you're talking about.
The self-aware, right? Yeah. You haven't seen Terminator. You can't really talk about that yet.
Sarah Connor.
Yeah, you get the reference.
I've seen Transporter though.
Just because they both start with T. Are you going to do a Jason Statham impression?
Not yet.
Okay. There are other parts of the game that I think are too subjective to utilize for VAR. Other than, or that they have to change, or I mean, maybe not that. Maybe it's just the level of fucking officiating, because we saw obviously Tottenham, an onside goal disallowed because of sheer fucking incompetence.
Mm-hmm.
Then the McAllister sent off. That was after the Liverpool appealed. That was rescinded.
Right.
So obviously I'm drawing from personal instances, but I know Matt, who we had on with Jamie's husband, Wolves have been absolutely fucking porked by VAR, where deliberate handball's not called, and then there was there's so many instances. So I think if you're going to utilize it, it has to be a way that is pretty much automated, that it is a computer generated that can take into account all the variables and say it's this or it's that. If it can't, then don't use it, because in the instances where it reviews, okay, this was a yellow card, in slow motion, everything looks worse. So, case in point, Curtis Jones. Now, obviously, I don't really care for Curtis Jones, but in that Tottenham game, he gets the ball, his foot rolls over the ball, and he catches the player.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is he supposed to do in that situation?
Yeah.
Right? And then you see same instances of this in other games, it's not called. So it's that you can't have that. That's not a betterment of the game. And those are the ones that they're oh, all right, is it, isn't it? And that just that completely derails the game. So that's where I feel that VAR should have its limitations. But if it's something that you can say quickly, it's this or it's that, I'm all for it, because in all honesty, these refs, they're just not fast enough. You see where the offside, the guy, you were fucking running down with the lead player, you saw the ball and you had the flag. They're now 10, 15, 20 yards, because these guys are pinging these, especially Trent, De Bruyne. These guys are pinging these absolute pinpoint passes from 30, 40 yards. It's nigh impossible to be able to run and say, yep, I was in line with that player. So, yeah. But do you have any thoughts? How would you, because it's going to stay. I don't think it's ever going to go away. What would you do to enhance it from your own perspective? What do you think could better the utilization of VAR?
I mean, the answer I think has to be more technology, which I hate to say. You either put like sensors in the field, or you've got like an infrared grid system or something running across the field that, can automatically see where everyone's feet and hands and all that is going on. Or you implement like hockey offsides, where as long as the defender is covering a small part of the other person's body, they're onside.
Well, that was Arsene Wenger's thought of changing the offside rule so that if any part of the body is onside, the player is onside.
Yeah, love it. You're still going to run into the same problems because it'd be like, well, was his toe onside? Was the other guy's foot covering the other guy's elbow? Like, I think it should be based on feet, and that's it. That way, you're not doing like, well, was his nose slightly forward than the other guy's pinky? Like, that's stupid.
So my only counterpoint to that is, who would want to be a defender in a game now that if any part, like, now on top of these guys being fast, strong, I can't go in on a crunching tackle. Now I gotta like make sure not a single part of their body was onside. You're just like you're tying their hands behind their back, which because of handballs they already are.
As long as they have one foot covered.
I think the way to do it is bring the physicality back to the game.
Yeah,
I think that it should go. Again, crunching tackles it made the game great. If you got the ball first, you got the ball first. You were the first one there. If you clean the player out afterwards, fuck it. He was going for it too. You won. Yeah. Why should you be penalized because he decided to stay on his feet and get cleaned out?
Yeah.
I think that is the real way to utilize, because you could still have VAR then. If you make it so that if you get the ball first, it's... VAR looks and goes, yeah, did he break both of his legs? Yeah, but hey.
Sure, he got ball first.
He got the ball first. Studs weren't showing. Like, it's a clean tackle. Yeah. And it's just like, boom, all right. Sucks for you, dude.
Get him off the field.
Just get the stretcher. All right,
Yeah.
I think that is the more... Because I think that's, you look at the videos of old and you look at these tackles and, some of the greatest midfielders, greatest defenders, like they went in, they timed it, and probably cleaned the guy's legs out after they thumped the ball, but it's just like it was better for the game. So that's my thought. I think you think you use technology in the manner that best suits it. So again, hopefully we'll see it, as they said, next season, the automation. So it'll just be like, boom, it's quick. It's either onside or offside, done deal. But I do think you better VAR by bringing a little bit more of the physicality back in the game so that it's not as subjective of, well, he got the ball, but then his foot rolled over and then he scraped his leg or he kicked him in the nuts. Like,
part of the game.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, move on.
Let him play.
Yeah, rub some dirt on it and let's fucking go.
Yeah.
So... that's my thought.
Now, that being said, if we get screwed on VAR this weekend, I'm going to fucking freak out.
What does it matter?
I know.
I want the win, but there's no, mathematically, it's not going to happen. Those two teams aren't going to drop enough points. We've qualified for top 4, which is what at the beginning of the season is what I had said.
It's true.
I wanted to be back in Champions League. This team was young, and I think part of it is we got wrapped up in how well they started, that you forget that this was a complete rebuild of your entire midfield.
Yeah.
Right? There's not a single player.
Where's that shitbag Curtis Jones?
Yeah, I feel like we should have a whole episode on that. But so you completely rebuild your midfield.
Yeah.
And again, not only did you rebuild, but young players who haven't played at this stage, haven't played, X amount of games. Like even McAllister, playing for Brighton, probably wasn't in for the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, the Europa League, all these, there's so many games. So, and we saw even Szoboszlai, a guy who just absolutely
is so naturally handsome.
He is. And the veneers, man. But I think the game just got to them. So, yeah, I just think we overachieved. and we got sucked up in it, thought that, it was theirs, and the hype of Klopp leaving, I think we just thought, like, yeah, this is going to drive the players, but honestly, I think it had a negative impact. I think they just wanted it too much.
Getting a little too tight.
Yeah, so, anyway, but, so we're top 4. The only one was I wanted the Europa League, but now I'm rooting for Atalanta.
Yeah.
I hope that, I think that would be a good Cinderella story. But yeah, VAR, I hope it's here to stay. I like, there's a lot of positives to it, but it's still so early. Like, they'll get it. I think with it, they just need to get better.
It's just like preventing referees from getting murdered at a higher rate.
I would say that in some situations, certain referees are going to be at a higher...
Because for a while there, I feel like the 90s weren't a great time to be a referee in some places. Like, I feel
didn't one actually get... I don't think it was because of
there was like numerous.
One got beheaded, but I think that was like a
separate. No, it was a bad time to be a referee. I think one happened in Brazil. One happened, I believe, I want to say in like a Middle Eastern country. Okay. Definitely at least one or two in Brazil. I know that. Maybe we'll do another follow-up episode on like how many referees have died in the line of duty. But yeah, it's a way to protect the referees, even though it's still a flawed system. But I agree, it will get better.
You can protect them because the people who are in VAR, they're not even close to the stadium, so like you can't touch them. But yeah, so yeah, I think I'm for it. I'm for VAR. It just needs to adapt.
Yeah,
adapt to survive. So.
Yeah.
Any other things you can think of in regards to VAR?
No, I think we need to see where it goes, how it develops, and it will continually frustrate us until it is perfect.
Speaking of VAR and recent events, the whole fucking West Ham debacle. After talking with Pat, and at first I was just like, oh, well, he blew the whistle. I wish that Gakpo had just put it in the back of the net, because I really do think that would have given VAR something to review, because it's been shown on. I'm surprised like the PGMOL like hasn't come out with an official apology, because they showed it on multiple news outlets. Pat sent me the one from Sky Sports, and they're like, Anthony Taylor waves play on.
Yep.
He doesn't call a foul. He waves multiple times for Areola to do play on. Areola picks up the ball, puts the ball down. It's in play. And then Gakpo's just like, all right, ball's in play, I'm going to go. And then Anthony Taylor just like starts blowing his whistle. If Gakpo had slotted that, they would have looked at him and like, has he called a foul by the letter of the law?
Yeah, it's still a live
fucking
ball.
Game on. But anyway, we didn't deserve to win that game.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's not necessarily about the areola, but it's about being in the area of the areola.
The disappointment. The disappointment is on my face right now. It's palpable.
Well, speaking of disappointment, I think we have to circle back to this wine.
Yeah, sure. Ooh, that's a big market.
Yeah, big market segue.
Yeah.
It's not gotten better.
No.
Which is disappointing.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the smell has actually gotten worse.
It smells still the same. It's like fruity, tart fruit on the nose. It's got great legs and great. It's just. Maybe that should be. We'll put that on the.
Yeah, mix that.
You know what? That's what we'll do. We'll take a picture of each of our
salad dressing.
We'll take a picture of each of our faces as we take a sip. We'll post that on this week's social media posts as we give our after we do
Backpfeifen Gazette.
The Backpfeifen Gazette. God damn.
Ugh, it's not looking great. We might be at our all-time low score.
Oh yeah. This wine is a sin. Yeah. Sin on the senses. Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, on to greener pastures.
So, we this week for the Backpfeifen Gazette is none other than West Ham United. And the reason that we chose West Ham United Recently on my trip to Liverpool, I was able, again, to see my buddy Pat, and his beloved team is West Ham United, and I thought, what better way to hit him where it hurts is to talk about the players we want to punch in the face. Now, I'm sure, as a West Ham fan and the ups and downs, he has some thoughts on this himself, as he's written in, and I'll read that shortly. But, yeah, we are going to talk about West Ham United. So, at first, I will read Pat's write-in.
How many write-ins do we have?
Pat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Again, I was like 2 days. 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been...
Where's CJ been?
Don't worry. I'm on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure he's listening.
I'm on it.
Okay.
All right. So, Pat writes, "Hi, gents. Rye, you should have made the trip to England for a beer." Yes.
I know.
My thoughts exactly. Next time. So, yeah. So, Pat writes, "My West Ham player I'd punch in the face is Aaron Cresswell." Oh, we have a couple points. So, point A, he's been with us for 10 years. He was part of a squad that won a trophy for the first time in 43, come on, dude, fucking years, having lost us the chance the year before by getting sent off in the quarterfinal, first leg, then the semifinal to cost us, the final, against Rangers. There it is. Why does he keep saying frick? For a place in the motherfucking Champions League. I'm not bitter. Decided to go on strike and missed the celebrations to force a move elsewhere. Prick. Wow, I didn't know that.
I was going to say, he's not on the team anymore, right?
No, he's on the roster. Yeah, he is a fucking prick.
Prick.
Yeah. And then, part B, just the sheer challenge of trying to land one on the thing he calls a forehead. The space between his hairline and eyebrows must be less than an inch. Good talk, guys. Thanks, Pat. We appreciate it. Also, I know you're gun shy because of your initial write-in where you used the word cunt. It's okay. Ryan and I embrace it. You can say it. You can use the real F word. You don't need to write frickin'. There's not children. Well, there's only one.
His forehead is so small.
Yeah. There's only one child listening, and he's heard worse. So next write-in, go for the gold, dude. Don't fucking PG it for us. All right? Now on. Yeah, it's very tiny. Now on to our Backpfeifen Gesicht. I'm actually going to pull it up so I can just really look at it. Rye, would you like to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
All right. So my choice for player that I would like to punch in the face is none other than Thomas Souček.
Thomas Souček.
So I was kind of looking through the players, and again, I don't really have too much animosity towards any West Ham players.
Agreed.
I think Kurt Zouma is a piece of shit for kicking an animal, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
So to not cut you off, but I'm gonna piggyback on what you say because Thomas Souček was also my choice.
Beautiful. So when I looked at Thomas Souček, the only thing I saw, especially in this picture, is I thought it was like if scientists were like, we're going to recreate Jordan Henderson. And then when they were were like splicing the DNA to make the clone, something off got in there.
Yeah, an electrical shortage.
Well, yeah, maybe a little extra got in, and they got this mongoloid, and he just came out saying, "My name is Thomas."
He does have a very vacant stare.
But just like, look, I mean, in this particular, it doesn't look like he's doing anything strenuous, and he's got two huge veins just absolutely jamming out of the side of his forehead.
Those are my hangover veins. When I'm hungover, that's what happens to the side of my head.
So, yes, this one.
Yeah, no, he's...
Now, also, like, look at where his chin starts, and then where his hair, like...
He's got a light bulb head.
He looks like a guitar pick. That's what his head.
Oh, that's
his
good. His
head is in the shape of a guitar pick. So, yeah, he's not winning any beauty contests. I can tell you that right now.
No, sure, he's a nice guy.
I mean, again, nothing against them as human beings. But aesthetically, he's what some might call feo. I've been taking Spanish.
Yeah, He has the look and the vacant stare of like a 15th century Czechoslovakian, like, pagan serfdom, like, out in the woods, just, like, loves harvesting cabbage.
And fucking pigs?
Hey. Gotta stay warm in those cold winter months. Am I right? What?
Thomas Tucci's a pig fucker? Yeah.
Also, oh man, oh god, that picture's haunting. The one in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, there's
the Czechoslovakian Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, no, that's I was getting the bolts. Like he's just missing the bolts, but like
he's also like a very sizable, formidable.
That's why we both picked him. So like you can sweep the leg, Johnny, and yeah.
He's someone who stands out on the pitch as being like enormous because like when I think of West Ham, I don't think of like a very tall and or giant player. I feel like they just have like a bunch of like what's his face?
He's 6'4".
Jared Bowens.
He's 6'4".
No, I know. Like Jared Bowens running around. That's like the average height is Jared Bowen, who's like 5'7". He is noticeably larger on there. That's like I put him in the same category as the guy. I don't even play for West Ham. The guy, Foghorn Leghorn. What the hell's his name? Weghorn.
Veghorst.
Yeah, Veghorst. He's just like too big for everybody.
I thought
else
you were
gonna
say Peter Crouch, and I was gonna be like, "Hey,
no.
All right,
no." It's just like probably couldn't play a lick of fucking basketball. Like Virgil van Dijk's tall. I mean, Ibrahima Konate is very big. Like he's noticeably large. This guy also he just like stands out. He's just like a very tall, lanky, gangly creature out there.
Again, this is a guy who looks like I know I've said it before on another one, but couldn't count to 20 with his shoes off starting at 19. Like he looks like David Moyes when he pulls him out, he's just like, Thomas, you hit ball with head.
Yeah.
Hit ball in net. And he just goes, okay.
I get cabbage.
Yes. Ball looks like cabbage.
Yeah. Halftime cabbage snack. Like it's just he's good.
And I know that Pat as a West Ham fan can't stand him. I
hope he's like the biggest. He has like the biggest fundraiser on the team.
I'm sure
he's
he
just
does.
like pinnacle member of the community.
The games I have watched, besides his using his sizable dome to actually hit the ball, he's
light bulb head.
Yeah, I think there are better players that should start in that midfield anyway. But yeah, good lord, yeah. So just. Science experiment gone wrong. Jordan Henderson is my pick, our pick for the backpfeifen Gesicht.
And and again, we don't hate anybody on West Ham. They're not a very hateable team.
There's actually a couple players that love dearly on West Ham, and I wish they got more playing time.
That's true. We can't forget that one of my favorite players is
literally who I was just talking about.
Is still on West Ham currently, and that is Daniel, William, John, Ings. Forget me other names. Joseph, Peter, Jamal. That's on me grandpappy's side. I'm coming for you. I'm Danny.
Is this why you brought the Jason Statham thing in early?
I'm Danny motherfucking Ings. I'm going to have sex with your mother.
Jesus, Danny.
I'm going to give her the full English, if you know what I mean.
I do. I love a good full English.
So there you go. Had to get my Danny Ings impression in. Makes me feel good. I'll tell you what doesn't make me feel good. This wine.
Let's wrap this motherfucker up.
Ugh.
Golly. All right. So, yeah, I need a second.
All right. We'll do next wine segue so you can collect your thoughts. Because it's jarring. I'm sorry.
Yeah, talk about the wine, and then actually, you know what? We need to talk about the team that we're going to choose.
Sure do.
And the team that we're going to pick for next week, as they are right in the hunt for the title race. They're I think the only Big Six team we have not done yet. We will be going after Arsenal.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Fuck those guys. And I think I already have my pick already.
Do you?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Well, actually I have two, but anyway. So we'll be doing Arsenal, and then the topic that we are going to be discussing for next week is we're going to go back a little bit to more of the lighter side. Ryan and I are going to bring to the table our thoughts on some of the best and worst haircuts that have ever graced the game of soccer. It doesn't have to be the Premier League. This is across the span of time, so you can bring back like the Maradonas, all that. So we're gonna bring independently to see if we have some overlap, but we're gonna bring in what we think are. Let's do. What do you think? What's a good number for best and worst? How many do you think you want to do of each?
Top three with 2 honorable mentions.
Top 3 for each category. So top 3 best, top 3 worst. Like a total of potentially 10 picks. 5.
Ooh.
Is that
top 3, 1 honorable mention?
Again. You need to fucking specify because it's best and worst. So in each category,
yeah, we each present our top 3
in each category.
Yes, it was an honorable mention.
Okay, so
because we might have some overlapping.
So 8 total, potentially 8 total.
Yeah.
Okay, that took way too long. So yeah, so we are going to be going with that, and as some of the best and most memorable, or actually as a nation, I think they're kind of known for their hair. We're going to be going with an Italian wine.
Sure are.
And we are going to be drinking
the Tenuta di Cepiano by Keith Haring, Label Toscana, 2016. It's friggin' 8 years old. Look at us.
Look at us. So yeah, we're going to be drinking an Italian wine from the Tuscany region.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And I think the last Tuscan we had was delightful. So after this fucking diarrhea.
Yeah. The Italian wine's rated high with us. I think we've done 2 and they both were really good. So
this will not be.
This one, the Sin's in, is going right in the fucking trash bin.
I'm ready.
Yeah, so super excited for that one. Super excited to talk about how, beautiful someone's hair is.
And as a bald man, this is gonna it's gonna hurt a little bit, but it's okay.
I went with the warm weather cut, much like a spaniel. I usually cut it down in the summer, get like a sport cut. So
looks good.
Yeah, thank you.
You're a
appreciate
handsome man.
that.
You're a handsome man.
All right.
Oh, Mike, your beard looks good. Oh, thanks, Roy.
It does look good. It looks super full.
Well, thank you.
I'm jealous. I wish I never cut mine, but alas.
So, Rye, give your thoughts.
Fucking terrible.
Would you like to punch this wine in the face? Would you like to back Pfeifen?
Honestly, I think we have to throw a cork in this bottle and throw it out in the woods.
No, I won't be drinking. The only thing I'll take another sip so we can take a picture of each other's I have reaction
I have
face.
2 mouthfuls left. Yeah. I'm gonna take one more, so just I'm doing this for
This is for you. This is for the listeners.
I'm suffering for everyone out there, really.
Yeah. So
I'm not a martyr.
I'm going to.
Not all heroes for capes.
I'm going to try and be. What's the word?
Oh, fuck, it's bad.
I don't even know the word I'm going to try. But anyway, I'm not going to just give it a 0. Okay.
Right.
Because it is. There might be someone out there that likes a super tart, vinegary.
This rated super high.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to give it a 3.1.
Very generous.
Again, it's like I can drink it. I will not enjoy it, but it's not like it's. To me, it's something that would be like a 0, something that's spoiled. I mean, this could be spoiled. I don't fucking know. But anyway, it's just not my cup of tea. Again, aesthetically, it looks like a delicious wine.
Yeah.
The nose was better, but it's just fucking just pure tart, close to going bad.
Yeah.
Blueberries. So if that's your jam, this wine's for you.
I like what you did there.
Rye, what's yours? This might be the first time you actually give a lower score.
Oh no, 100%.
Yeah.
It was upsetting because, like you said, looked awesome, smelled great, legs for days. It, other than the first initial, it hits your mouth and you're like, okay, it's kind of sweet, and then it goes straight
swallow it,
fucking tart. It's haunting.
Yes.
I don't care for it. I'm going to give it a 0.6.
Wow.
And it can promptly go fuck itself.
All right.
Sins in the trash bin. There you go. That's it. That's it. You know what?
And this was going to be the first time that it's not because of VAR, because we're not out of wine. We just don't want to fucking drink it anymore.
No, it's awful. I'm angry. But you know what makes me happy, though? That we're back in the lab.
We're back here.
We're recording.
We're doing
We get a big May coming up. Try to be a little more active. Get a few more out to everyone this month.
Yeah.
Go outside. Get some fucking
breathe
some
in.
Fucking vitamin D.
As long as the pollen's not too bad, breathe it in. We're turning a corner. Weather's getting good. Get
Huff
out there.
Dandelion.
Kick a ball around. Hopefully drink a better bottle of wine than this fucking.
Don't get kicked out of a U10 soccer game.
No. Do it.
Oh, okay.
That's a bucket list item. So we would love to keep going.
Sure would.
But we just don't want to drink this shit anymore.
No.
So, to that, we're going to put the final cork in this fucking dumpster of a bottle and say, listen to us next time on another exciting episode of Vino Volley. So, Ryan, you know what to do.
I do. Always remember, sip and soccer responsibly. We bid you and this fucking garbage wine a Freddie adieu.